What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to This Week in Esports and Gaming, the show where we talk about the latest business happenings in creator, gaming, and esports news. And there's a lot of creator news this week, so buckle up. We're here for the third week of June 2023. I'm your host, Mark Kai, so let's dive right into it. I'm sure you've heard by now, but for our top three story, our first one at least, XQC has signed a $100 million deal with Kick. This is the talk of the town. I'm sure everybody knows about this, but let's break down the facts and then talk about the business implications here. So as reported by Kellen Browning of the New York Times, Kick has signed a $70 million two-year deal with incentives that could push the total to $100 million. So the $100 million is not 100% guaranteed, contrary to popular headlines. This deal, though, is as large, basically as large as LeBron James' two-year deal, which is $97 million. So XQC or LeBron, basically. This marks one of the biggest deals in all of entertainment ever, not just live streaming. And this is more than Shroud and Ninja got paid for Mixer combined, just so for your information. So this contract is non-exclusive, which means that XQC will have the ability to stream on other platforms like YouTube and Twitch, but you can't stream on Twitch at the same time. So Twitch will be separate, but maybe YouTube. We'll see here. Kick is averaging about 110,000 live streams per day and is growing pretty rapidly, so there's a big play here. And XQC also represents 2 to 3% of the total viewership of Twitch. So this is a huge loss for Twitch if you won't be streaming there that frequently. For reference, XQC's move to Kick at least broke the website since they had 50 times more traffic than normal. So the site went down for a bit. So let's talk about the business implications now. So lots of good insight from Devin Nash and Ludwig if you watch their videos about it. One thing that this is probably an hourly deal with a really high rate for XQC, meaning he has to stream a certain number of hours on the platform to actually get this money. They speculated the $30 million extra might be for performance or events or things he wants to host or whatnot. So, but that's still a lot of money regardless. And furthermore, it's a really good point's been made by the fact that this is a huge PR marketing move from Kick on this announcement. The fact that Forbes and New York Times and other huge news publications have covered this means that Kick is now on the front pages of a lot of newspapers and now on a lot of people's minds now. Whether it's actually true or not, many people will actually start to see Kick as a true competitor with this move. But another great point brought up, though, is that this will actually probably also attract attention from regulators like the government, other entities, which means that they'll likely have to be a little bit more buttoned up on Kick, whether it's the streamers or the platform itself. Despite Kick not being headquartered in the United States, they're still beholden to a lot of the streamers which are based in the United States, and things like movies, copyrighted music, basically porn, things like that, that have kind of gone okay on Kick, probably won't be available for a lot longer. That being said, much of this is stake.com money, which means they have a widely different array of way of funding this versus Amazon and Twitch. So it seems that Kick is able to support this via gambling and maybe a longer lifetime value of their customers on gambling versus just ad sales. If you want to deep dive into this, just let me know. I would love to make a longer video or longer post at least on Kick as a company and their profile behind it. Either way, it's a wild time to be in the creator space right now. For a second top three story, Twitch have revealed their Partner Plus program. So Twitch's news probably doesn't seem like too much after just hearing Kick's announcement, but it's still pretty notable, so let's cover it. The Partner Plus program will essentially give mid-tier streamers a 70-30 split, which is not as good as Kick's 95-5 split, obviously, but Twitch has a huge market share, way more than Kick has. And to qualify, streamers must already be a Twitch partner and have over 350 paid recurring monthly subs for at least 3 consecutive months, which means that Twitch Prime subs do not count here. The 70-30 split will last up to 12 months and be up to $100,000 in revenue from those recurring paid subs and gifted subs. Prime subs will neither count towards that 350 sub number nor the $100,000 number. And the Partner Plus program will be available on October 1st, 2023, with Twitch reviewing 3 months of sub activity from July through September to determine if partners are actually eligible. Overall, people were seemingly not super happy about this. It really only affects a small amount of mid-tier streamers, and it won't be really helping the people at the top because they don't really need it, and it won't really help smaller streamers since it's probably not worth Twitch's time. So this announcement was made a day before Kick's announcement, so it really kind of got overshadowed at the end of the week. Twitch has a few things going for it, right? Huge number of streamers internationally. Kick is pretty focused on the United States right now and a much bigger audience for hours watched. That being said, Twitch is definitely sweating right now. They're not really comfortable. They're seeing Kick's announcements and they're saying, okay, what we have to figure out something to do now because Kick is now huge in the headlines. And so I'm curious of what Twitch will be doing next and if the announcement will continue to attract negative press for Twitch because they've been on the negative lately. So we'll see. OFFBRAND and OTK have launched new ventures. Lots of news here, so let's first dive into the OFFBRAND news. OFFBRAND have brought on 𝗠𝗿𝗖𝗶, more commonly known by his online alias 𝗠𝗿𝗑, as a new chief creative officer. To be frank, I don't think there's a better person suited for this role, given how creative 𝗠𝗿𝗑 is with his streams. If you've watched any of his streams, I've watched him for a long time, since like almost 10 years ago. He is an amazing creator. He's very funny, very engaging, so he's perfectly suited for this role, to be honest. And alongside 𝗠𝗿𝗑, they brought on David Gorman and Daniel Najarin, formerly of Beyond the Summit, and 𝗠𝗿𝗑 May, also who joined OFFBRAND, though 𝗠𝗿𝗑's announcement was a bit earlier, already announced. David and Daniel will serve as the COO and the content director respectively, with 𝗠𝗿𝗑 serving as the chief revenue officer. And David and Daniel will be starting OFFBRAND Productions, which will operate out of the former BTS studios and will be staffed by former BTS people as well. They will be using this to help creators produce events in-house without having to go to other companies beyond OFFBRAND. And so OFFBRAND is considering raising funds for either via maybe an institutional VC firm or even a creator round. So I'm excited to see what OFFBRAND does and where they go in the future. And then for the OTK news, at least, they have launched Mad Mushroom, which is a new publishing label for the company. They'll be working with Mike Sibowitz, who's an advisor who's formerly at Krafton, NCSoft, and Square Enix. So they had a lot of backing of many creators at OTK, such as Asmongold, Extra Emily, Sodenpoppen, Emiru, and SFan, the people who are actually in the announcement video. They have a huge marketing presence that they're able to push games to, and though these audiences might not also always be interested in the same games, it'll be a little bit interesting to see what their audience's reactions are. The company has three main core pillars they want to work around. They want to help indie devs avoid predatory publishing deals and high user acquisition costs. They want to have access to full service game testing, localization, reviews, live ops, and more. And they want deeper influence marketing and creators for distribution across diverse gaming audiences. So the company will work with devs to focus on replayability, audience participation, and games that create engaging content rather than just profitability. Both of these ventures simply show how much gaming creators are doing in the gaming and esports space, and they're pushing to expand business beyond just content and their other initiatives. They're looking at long-term sustainability, knowing that content creation is not necessarily sustainable for the long term, right? Businesses might actually outlast that. I think this path forward for many creators is what might be the norm in the future, because when they're able to afford having extra time for this type of thing, this might be a little bit more sustainable for them. It often leads to more creativity too, since they're not always doing the same thing, streaming every single day. So we'll see if more creator brands continue to do stuff like this, but congrats to OFFBRAND and OTK for their launches. As far as partnerships go, ESL Facebook Group partnered with Down. AFG will use Down's tech to improve in-game experiences through preventing smurfing, identity fraud, and boosting in esports games supported by EFG. This marks the first time Down, an identity and biometrics company, will be diving into esports. Team Vitality partnered with Kia. The 2-year partnership will result in a variety of content from a campaign called The Lane of Movement, and Kia will be the official supplier of Team Vitality's LFL and LEC rosters. Riot Games partnered with Astralis and Display. Astralis will now be allowed to co-stream the LEC for its 2023 summer split, which means Astralis joins Koi and Team Heretics in this partnership. Astralis will stream these matches on their Watch Astralis platform starting with the opening week of the summer split. And for the Display partnership, Riot Games and LEC will produce a licensed collection of League of Legends with 39 total Display posters being available to purchase. There will also be further activations between the two brands for fans across the world. Luminosity Gaming partnered with Control. Control will serve as the official meal replacement and functional food brand partner for Luminosity Gaming, and this partnership looks to push Control's version 2 formula, which has lower sugar, cholesterol, and more fiber than its previous version. Paper Crowns have worked with PewDiePie to rebrand his logo, which is pretty sick, given Paper Crowns have worked with some notable brands and more creators now as well. Congrats to both PewDiePie and Paper Crowns on this really cool rebrand. 𝗠𝗿𝗖𝗶 partnered with Krafton. 𝗠𝗿𝗖𝗶 will serve as the official media partner for all tournaments and events of PUBG Esports hosted by Krafton in 2023, and 𝗠𝗿𝗖𝗶 will produce and distribute content in localized languages and provide access to exclusive content with teams and players. As far as finance and M&A goes, MOBA Network have acquired Wargraphs for 50 million euros. Wargraphs will join the MOBA Network family of online communities such as Dota Fire, League Spy, Counter-Stats, and more, and the deal will be divided into an initial 25 million euro round with a possible second 25 million euro payment pending achieved EBITDA for 12 and 24 months. Best of all, Wargraphs is just one person, so congrats to Jean-Nicolas Maston for making a huge success here. Million Victories have raised a $6.5 million Series A. The mobile game dev will use the round to improve and upgrade Million Lords, their most notable game, which they would use to include in-game updates in a push to making the game a fully 3D experience. They also hope to expand their team and work on new games for different platforms. The round was led by Eurazeo and Griffin Gaming Partners. Gamers First have acquired Evolve PCs. The purpose of this acquisition is for G1 to diversify its income streams to become more profitable in the future, with all 6 of Evolve's employees joining G1. Evolve PCs was founded in 2019 and saw good financial results with around $2.5 million in revenue annually, which might be a pretty good boost for Gamers First to continue building sustainable revenue streams. As As far as workforce changes go, Jamie McKinley has been promoted to SVP of Asia and Emerging Markets Publishing and Partner Development at EA. Jamie's been with EA for over 17 years at this point and spent most of his time in the APAC region, starting as an entertainment marketing director and moving all the way up to SVP now. He spent a few years in Canada doing brand management and marketing, but has now returned to the Asia region. Congrats to over 17 years at EA, Jamie. Bastian Patzold has been promoted to the Executive Director for Global Partnerships of Gaming and Esports at Sport5. Bastian has been with the company for over 6 total years now, most recently as the Senior Director in the same role, so will now be overseeing sales strategy and process in the United States. He's worked at Lagardère Sports for 4.5 years in the past and was actually at Sport5 before his stint there, so he also holds a Bachelor's of Sports Management from the German Sport University Cologne. Faisal bin Bandar bin Sultan has joined the International Esports Federation as the SVP. Faisal has been the president of the Saudi Esports Federation and the VP of the Global Esports Federation as well, and he will hold his statutory vice president role alongside his other roles at Saudi Esports Federation. He holds a degree from Baylor University. 𝗶𝗶 da Costa has joined Playdigious as the CEO. 𝗶𝗶 has extensive experience in the gaming space as he was the chief business officer for Don't Nod Entertainment, as well as the owner of Digital Lounge, which provided publisher and business development services. Essentially, he's launched a lot of his games over his career, and he holds a bachelor's in economics from Paris 13 University. Kirk Scott has joined Pingle Studio as the VP of Publisher and Developer Relations. Kirk has spent quite a long time in the gaming space as he was most recently the head of Dev Relations at Eastside Games. He spent 2 years as the VP of Business Development for Rocket Ride Games and was notably the manager of third-party developer relations at Nintendo for over 5 years from 2015 to 2020. He holds a bachelor's in finance from CSU Northridge. Krista Agias has been promoted to COO at Exient Publishing. Krista has been with Exient Publishing for about 1.5 years now, previous to her promotion with the company. She's held previous roles at Finixio, Catena Media, Product Tank Malta, and other tech and gambling companies, and she holds a bachelor's degree in Information and Communication Technology from the University of Malta. Ali Payne joins Honest PR as the PR director. Ali joins after spending 3.5 years at Deep Silver as the senior global communications and event manager. She also spent time at Little Big PR as well as Little Red Rooster and has extensive experience in PR, comms, and journalism and more in the gaming space. She holds a degree in English from the University of Gloucestershire. As far as new stuff goes, Disguised Toast has revealed a Patreon to help with his esports team. Disguised Toast recently made a video about his esports team that was pretty insightful, given he just says a lot of what's happening in esports, how much it costs and whatnot. He mentioned that the cost for his teams ended up being higher than he expected, which is why he's offering a Patreon to support his team's salary, albeit maybe a small salary, and members will get a weekly video as well as access to salaries and revenues for the team. The Saudi Esports Federation has launched a $5 million fund to support cross-title esports performance. The fund, called Gamers 8 Club Awards, will distribute a total of $5 million in prize money to esports orgs that place well across multiple titles at the festival. Teams competing in at least 2 titles will receive points for their respective finishes, which will unlock rewards based on the total amount of points accumulated throughout the 8-week festival. That's it for this week in esports and gaming. Thank you so much for tuning in. Credit to the authors, brands, as well as the publishers for the images and press releases provided. Shout out to the Esports Advocate for all the cool work they do. If you want to go support them, click the link down below. If you know someone who find this valuable, please tag them in the comments or share this with your network. I'd really appreciate it. And as always, everybody, have a great day.